figs are delicious, and they were actually considered the first form of clothing, if you know what I mean. Let me tell you how you could grow them in a small space. You know, something I hear a lot from folks is that I would really love to grow some of my own food, but I don't have much room at all. Really no space. Hey, it doesn't take much space to grow some of the most delicious things you've ever eaten in your life. I'm crazy about blueberries. Look at all of these blueberries, and guess what? They're growing in containers. I have 5 containers of blueberries here, 3 different varieties, and look at the fruit set. Now, I'm giving them a little feed. I fertilized them just as they were coming out of their winter slumber, but I'm giving them just a little bit more as these blueberries begin to ripen. You see, about a month and a half ago, they started swelling, or the buds did, and you could see these beautiful flowers. And then the honeybees showed up and they started pollinating. And what you have to produce blueberries like this, you need at least 2 varieties that flower at the same time, so you get that cross-pollination going on. And what I like to do is make sure that I plant them in large containers, and I set them down in saucers, and I've got a drip irrigation system here. This keeps the soil consistently moist, and you can just see how well they're producing. In the fall, the foliage on these plants, well, it's just outstanding. They're beautiful plants. Hey, and my fruit production in this little space doesn't just stop here. Come on over here, let me show you. Now take a look at this big guy. This is a fig. It's actually a brown turkey fig, and I don't bring these in the winter. Even though you might think, well, that's such an Italian thing to have. Actually, I got the idea of growing them in containers on a trip to Italy, where I was sitting out in a restaurant in a little patio area, and they had big pots of figs, and it was really beautiful. But just look at all the fruit on this fig tree. It's just fantastic. Now, as I said, this one's brown turkey, and I don't have to take these containers in during the winter. There are some varieties that can really take much colder temperatures. For instance, there's one called Chicago Hardy that is hardy up to zone 5, Chicago, and it can take temperatures as low as 0. Now, I wouldn't say that it would survive in a container exposed like this, but it would in the ground. But anyway, it just looks great as a landscape plant, and just look at all these gorgeous figs. Hey, if you're enjoying these segments on how to grow some of your own food in the tiniest places, tell a friend about them, and make sure you subscribe to ehowhome.